Group G. Good evening, everyone. Mike Watts on hand, and welcome to this game wherever you may be. In the biggest game of these young players' lives, no doubt. 80 degrees as we approach kickoff. There was rain earlier today in the lid lifter of the final match day of Group G. That has passed. Aruba defeated Grenada 2-1 to secure their first ever victory. Grenada, their first ever goal at the Under-17 qualifiers. But truly, it was always going to come down to this. The top two teams in the rankings have flexed their muscles against both Aruba and Grenada earlier in the group. The winner of this game is headed to the Under-17 World Cup in Qatar in November. A draw would go in favor of Panama as they have the greater goal difference entering this Group D finale. Can you imagine what it's like in this tunnel right now? The concept of a renewed Concacaf qualifying structure came in part because the Under-17 championship at the FIFA level now occurs on an annual basis. Therefore, there has to be a different way of thinking about how to send teams to an expanded edition of the tournament that tried to implement the most fair path forward for each team, as opposed to knockout play, create group stage games that allow the cream to truly rise to the top. And Panama, the Dominican Republic, certainly have been the best of this Group G. 8 teams from Concacaf are headed to a tournament twice the size of its predecessor in Qatar, 48 teams instead of 24. With those extra slots, Concacaf has chosen to implement 8 different groups, the winner of each group going through, but there's nothing for the runner-up in any of the groups. And so while you have 3 games to prove yourselves, this group is a good example. The first 2 games don't slip on the banana peel. Then it comes down to this, essentially a title match. There's a trophy at the end of this. There's an acknowledgement that you now have a chance at world glory, a chance at a World Cup. Here comes Panama and the Dominican Republic. This venue, which has hosted monumental games in CONCACAF, certainly the most monumental moment of these young footballers' lives. The Dominican Republic needs to win to go to the World Cup. Panama, a win or a draw, would provide them that wonderful ticket to global glory. We'll hear the national anthems. We'll meet the lineups, and kickoff is imminent in this Group G title match between Panama and the Dominican Republic.
Salve el pueblo que intrépida y fuerte a la guerra morir se lanzó. Cuando el bélico reino de muerte sus cadenas de esclavos rompió. Siempre activa la frente alzada, que si fuere mi vez es esclava, otra tanta se libre será. Alcanzamos por fin la victoria en
grow up, you dream of this moment, don't you? One game in front of you for that ticket to the other side of the world. And for these young men, it could be feeling like top of the world. A chance at a World Cup to the winner of this one game. Panama hosting the Dominican Republic, the Concacaf Under-17 qualifiers. Good evening, wherever you may be. Mike Watts on hand for the call tonight of this final game in Group G. These are photos that will stand the test of time in victory and dissolve in defeat. But look at the starting lineup for Panama. And this is a group that has Mikel Prado up front, the Tauro product, a hat trick in the opening game for Panama. Aparicio is in goal. Abraham Altamirano captains the side in the middle of midfield. Here are tonight's officials. The lead comes from Curacao, Norberto da Silva. 4 officials of 3 nationalities. They do not have the benefit of video assistant referee. They've exchanged the banners. They take that one final photo, a frozen moment in time. The starting 11 for the Dominican Republic. Uresti and Lopez, the duo up front. Gabi Gomez, the captain the side, running down the right flank. And Geraldo is in goal for Edward Acevedo. The Dominican Republic have only been to the World Cup in one age group. It's the men's under-20s, and it just happened in 2023. Panama, they've been to the World Cup at the senior level on the men's side in 2018. The women's national team reached the World Cup in 2023. And so both teams, you could say, have someone to look up to know that it can be them. It can happen. For one of these teams, it will happen tonight. This night is magic. The Dominican Republic away to Panama. The winner is going to the Under-17 World Cup, the Concacaf Under-17 qualifiers concluding Group G tonight. The Estadio Rommel Fernández in the Panamanian capital. What a night it is. Jose Abreu commits the early incursion. Both teams victorious in their first 2 matches, but it was always going to come down to this. Panama opened with an 8-0 victory over Grenada. Added a 3-0 win over Aruba. The Dominican Republic, a mere 1-0 result over Aruba in the opening match. A 4-0 result over Grenada. That goal difference margin prove valid and valuable only in the case of a draw, and it would lead Panama to the World Cup. Lost by Aranda. Receives the throw from Pacheco. Ramos. Panama has a much better history at the under-17 level in the region. The Dominican Republic have only ever been in this tournament 5 times. They've never qualified the Under-17 World Cup, that U20 World Cup, which they performed in 2023, the first World Cup at any age group for the country. Angling free, Ferreira. Panama's 11th appearance in this event. They had never gotten out of the group in their first 4 tries until 2011, and they've finished quarterfinalist or better in 4 of the last 6, including a semifinal finish in 2023. Of course, no knockout stage, but quarterfinal, meaning top 8, which is exactly what they need to accomplish by winning their group here. Rios, forward from Ramos. Aranda. Good leading touch. Ball through now. Prado was trailing. Appeal for a foul goes unheard. Knocked away by Gomez. Effervescent speed from Joseph Lopez. Plays for San Francisco Football Club in Panama. There have been some stunning upsets from the Panamanian club game in Concacaf competition. Tauro, Plaza Amador, yes, San Francisco. And perhaps the biggest club of them all in this area, Kai Independiente. Aranda over Stewart. Conversely, for the Dominican Republic, they've had to get through Caribbean play to get into club competition at the senior CONCACAF level, but we've seen Sabao break through in recent years. 3 Sabao youngsters in the starting 11 for the Dominican Republic tonight. That is a high boot from Emmanuel Ramos and a free kick to Panama. Ramos. Stewart. Gordon. Herrera. Tapped across. The Dominican Republic are wise. Pacheco. Into Prado. He's gone down. Much bigger crowd than the earlier game with whistles and jeers. Still no whistle from the referee. Did get the ball first. Gabriel Gomez. Fernández to throw. And into open space. Uresti playing early across. Snapped away and lasered by Luis Lopez. Scored twice in the 4-0 win over Grenada. Well above the bar. Just a hair out in front of Ramos, who was unmarked. That is nervy stuff for Panama. Anthony Ramos was entirely unaware for Panama. Kept in by Prado. Turning, firing, deflected. Lavardia. But it is a corner, the first of the game. And it belongs to the Panamanians. Lavardia, towel roll in play once more. Checo trailing. Miranda. Now Ademir Aparicio. Miranda, part of the Sporting San Miguelito setup. Set bright moments on the international stage. Pacheco given away. Fernández layering a ball through early. Stewart is looking to take that off the dribble. Lopez. Steered up. Now Fernández. Marte. Ramos. Lopez. Offside. Right call. A little hesitation. This would be the death of the Dominican advance. Fernando given away to Panama. Lofted for Prado. What a dangerous option he's proven to be. Prado. Vardio was waiting. Floated in behind. Kept from Aresti. Through Prado chasing. Cleared by Geraldo. Ultimately, Aresti is the one who thrust toward the leg. Pacheco. Scoreless 11 minutes in. The draw would see Panama by goal difference into the World Cup. This Dominican side has really pinged it around fairly effectively. They have now given the foul. Free kick, Luis Lopez. Lopez. A regrettable outcome. Panama looking to go to the Under-17 World Cup for the 4th time. Reached the 2nd round in their first appearance in 2011. They got grouped in 2013 and in 2023. Get some of the names that come out of those World Cup squads: Roberto Chen, Omar Brownie, Francisco Narbonne back in 2011, Ishmael Diaz in 2013. Martin Krug, the American-born player at Levante, debuted for the senior national team at just 18 as center back, part of the 2023 World Cup squad. Intercepted by Marte. Uresti wants it played out in front. Instead, Lopez continues. Corner for the Dominican Republic. Last free kick in the attacking third is well wayward. Now a corner, the first of the game for the Dominicans. Ramos, ball bouncing and cleared awkwardly. Uresti was trying to find it. Altamirano playing through. Keeper off his line, drives it away, but the net's empty for the time being. Picking his head up, Rios never thought to go for goal from the halfway line. Served across, Gordon off the cutback. Lavardia racing through by his lonesome, only to see Geraldo off his line to deal with it. Take the ensuing corner. Second for Panama. 15 minutes complete. Aravaria. Up from Fernández. Keeper pushing. He lost it. He's got it now. Wilkins Geraldo recovers. Long over the top. Ferreira ran out of real estate. Panama has finished in the top 8 4 times in 6 attempts since 2011. Got more of the ball. They get the benefit of playing on home ground. The group stage in all 8 groups all occurred in one host country from that group. Panama here. All through. Keeper's late. Geraldo eventually got it. There was confusion between Abreu and Geraldo. Slipped ahead by Gordon. Geraldo's got it now. Time for everybody to communicate more effectively for the Dominican Republic. Geraldo, that got deflected. Gordon. Angling back in, Lopez. Plays wide. Early service. Passed away by Alejandro Lopez. Pacheco drives across. Ramos. Got Lopez to kick it over the end line. Alavaria's third Panamanian corner. Better than the first two. Struck from range, sent away by Geraldo. First real chance of this game comes in the 18th minute. And Wilkins Geraldo at full stretch. Mirano allowing Joseph Lopez to have a go for goal. First save by either side. Pacheco opened up through the left flank. Pacheco. He goes down. That is Pacheco diving. There's something for simulation to be added. Two feet do come together. Nothing additional, but Pacheco does appear hobbled. He did catch something. Ultimately deemed a Panamanian foul. Scoreless through 20 minutes. This result would still send Panama, the Group G winner, to the World Cup in Qatar in November. Marte stripped. Lopez drives. Dishes ahead. Prado has to reverse. Kept it alive. Prado now. Prado. Another crunching effort by the Dominican defense. This match will be among the first, as there are concurrent games in the region. Among the first qualify a team to this upcoming Under-17 World Cup. The expanded edition in Qatar feature 48 teams, including 8 from Concacaf, and kicks off on November the 5th. Now an annual tournament. The next 5 editions of the event will be played in Qatar. Ball across for Resti. Ramos. bypassing Vasquez and layered through. Angling onto the ball. Gordon forced away. Now service allowed through, but Pacheco is there and backstops for Panama. Pacheco curling across to the back post. Flipped into the air for Gordon. Back to Lopez. Stewart. An under-20 team that finished runners-up at the Concacaf Under-20 Championship now 2 years ago for the Dominican Republic that went to the World Cup, their first ever World Cup participant from the nation. Featured in the event in May of 2023. Lost all 3 of their matches, but did lead Nigeria on an Edison Azcona penalty. Only to see the last two goals of that game and get blown out 6-0 by Brazil and crash out of the group altogether. The 3-0 loss to the Italians. Germany, the reigning World Cup winner in this age group. Gordon. Heavy step by Vasquez, couldn't win it. Instead, Lopez into the width again. Altamirano drops off. Prado! He's been so very good in this group. The hat trick, including 2 late against Grenada. Mikel Prado wide of target. Off the foot of Lopez. Ramos. Lopez won it back. Altamirano. Altamirano! Save! Geraldo knocks it down. Scooped up and sent away by Ramos. Panama creating more, 25 minutes in. And there's no release of pressure here. Anthony Ramos. Lopez slipping ahead. Altamirano crossing Prado at his feet. Long touch forward that Aparicio will calmly claim. And he begins to orchestrate. Leonardo Pepino has to be happy for Panama. His team has dominated these proceedings. Gordon. Met by Alejandro Lopez. There are 3 Lopez's in this game. Joseph Lopez playing for Panama. Luis Lopez for the Dominican Republic, and Alejandro Lopez, the Dominican Republic. Also a Ramos on either team. Anthony for Panama and Emmanuel for the Dominican Republic. 5th corner. Nothing to write home about for Panama. And Pacheco never made contact, deserving of a throw for the host country. Pacheco. No knockout stage. It's win the group, go to the World Cup, finish second. and get nothing for your effort. Altamirano. Lopez. Altamirano! Saved again, Geraldo. He has been acrobatic and elastic. 3 saves for Wilkins Geraldo, each more impressive than the last. The Panamanians are peppering the Dominican goalkeeper. 6th corner incoming for Panama. Checo's playing left back. Take the set piece with his left to get an in-swinging advantage. The Plaza Amador Academy player looks on. Plays short down the line. Deflects free. Geraldo, second time's the charm. He's got it. Troubling trend here for the Dominican Republic. Occasional confusion. They've lost their marks. They've given the ball away cheaply here. Aranda. Altamirano. Prado! Oh, Golazo! Panama leads. What a beauty! Is that the goal that ensures the World Cup for Panama? And what a moment for Prado, his family, his country. To score this goal, the presence of mind, the back heel. Altamirano looking for Prado again, and this time with a dash of magic. Glorious Panamanian goal. What a way to take the lead. What a way to move one step closer to Qatar. Wow, what a goal for Panama. Panama 1, the Dominican Republic 0, and it is deserved. You think that removing his jersey and scaling the retaining wall, leaving the field of play should probably come with a yellow card. Well, I haven't seen it issued. It'd be pretty hard to imagine it doesn't exist. Here's Lopez. So the Dominican Republic now need 2 goals, not 1. And could there be one right here? This deflects across the face of goal, covered by Ramos, looking back toward Luis Lopez. Panama break the other way. Lopez. Prado front running. Lopez. Lopez! No. Haphazard, the Dominican Republic throughout this game. What a goal from Prado. 28 minutes, 58 seconds into this game. Ball ahead, and Geraldo's got it. Of course, the nature of 2018 World Cup qualifying at the senior level in Concacaf offered plenty of dramatic flair for Panama as well. Narrowly getting into the hexagonal, qualifying directly on goal difference to evade the Interconfederation playoff that Honduras ultimately lost to Australia. All the while, Mexico, Costa Rica handled their business in that hexagonal. It was the shock of the United States missing out, probably loomed largest in the grand scheme. The late 88th minute, Roman Torres goal in this venue in front of 26,500 to defeat Costa Rica, while at the same time Alvin Jones scored the winner, the eventual winner, over the United States in a 2-1 win in Trinidad. Ball angling off the right-hand side and slipped through and defended by Delvi Marte. And another corner for Panama. Their 7th.
Vamos Dominicana, vamos.
Lopez. Panama will play short. Slip through Altamirano. Sent long for a sprinting Alex Uresti. Dashes into Brias at the line. Covered by Lopez, but the whistle had already gone. No advantage to be played. Free kick. Panama won by Prado. El Prado has not featured the senior level in the club game. 4th goal of this event, likely raise an eyebrow or two. And Tauro. Foul from Vasquez, quick restart Panama. 5 red shirts in unison, cutback ball. That kept in play off of Abreu. Stewart. Service smashed away by Ferreira. And into a foot race beyond the halfway line. Stymied, held, spinning. Uresti kept it. Ramos. Trying to get end line, slice back, ball ricochets around and pinballs to Abreu. Sends it away, make that Aranda. Soars up, Aranda beneficiary. Came out to halfway, and Prado helps to spring it the other way. Back from Altamirano, Lopez. Altamirano assisted the opening goal, that gorgeous back heel for Prado. Altamirano looking for that same ball played square across the face. For Prado again. This dive out over the end line. A winner or draw, Panama goes to the World Cup in Qatar at the under-17 level in November. One of 8 slots available to Concacaf. The vast majority of finales will, in fact, be for the group title. Still plenty to be decided. Curacao against Anguilla should be a simple victory for Curacao on paper, but it's Canada and Bermuda playing in Group A. Canada win or draw, they are into the World Cup. It's walked over the line by Pacheco. In Group B, Costa Rica and Trinidad and Tobago match in the finale. A win for either, and they go through. A draw opens the door, albeit very slimly, to Guyana. That game tomorrow. In Group C, Mexico and Nicaragua, each on 9 points, will face off for a spot in the World Cup in Toluca tomorrow night. Honduras and Puerto Rico on level terms are playing right now in San Pedro Sula for a place in the World Cup. Group E sees Haiti and Guatemala set to have a head-to-head knockout for a spot in Qatar tomorrow night. The United States and Cuba will do the same. That match set to begin in about 20 minutes in Alajuela, Costa Rica. This, of course, Group G. Winner goes through. And in Group H, Jamaica and El Salvador, both on 6 points, are set to kick off in about an hour's time in Guatemala City. Most extensive qualifying structure in CONCACAF yet. Diagonal for Gordon. Of course, more slots because a bigger tournament, twice the size, 48 teams. The upcoming Under-17 World Cup in Qatar. Next 5 editions of the tournament will be played there now on an annual basis, which is to the benefit of giving more players more opportunity. So often you'd be on just the wrong side of the line, too young for one tournament, perhaps by experience, too old by the calendar by the time the next one rolls around. Opened up to Luis Lopez. And Lopez stridently met by Stewart. Gomez lobs in. Lopez got the cross away, turning, trying to settle, and slashed over toward Fernández. Resti knew he had no angle to get the shot away. Kept alive by Vasquez. Unable to control Olivardia over the line. Ramos, touched off by Aranda. Ramos still. Lopez, options percolating. Had Resti in mind. Swung forward again. Resti over. Ferreira bobbled and touched out toward the near side line. Aparicio did not completely control that. And the Dominican Republic starting to throw some punches of their own. And now they'll get their second corner of the match as a result. Ferreira, best chance thus far for the Dominican Republic. Luis Lopez will take the corner. Being chided. Gabriel Gomez calling for it at the front post. Lopez. First ball's away. Fernández. Lopez came back on side. Lopez crossing the equalizer for the Dominican Republic. Alejandro Lopez pulls the Dominicans on the level terms before halftime. And it's all still to play for with a World Cup berth on the line. 1-1. They reset. Lopez cuts out in front of the Panamanian defense. And Luis Lopez puts it right atop the six for the redirection. And Alejandro Lopez squares the match at 1. Prado for Panama, Lopez for the Dominican Republic. If this result holds, the Panamanians would go to the World Cup level on 7 points with the Dominicans, but through on goal difference. The Dominicans needed 1 to get 2, and they have it. And it is a just reward for 5, 6, 7 minutes of their best ball yet. This will be a corner. There are your group standings. Panama plus 11, Dominican Republic plus 5 in goal difference. This will be a goal kick, rather, off the deflection. You build these groups to be fair, but you always hope that these kind of implications are there at the end. Keeper's coming. Stewart evades Lopez. His clearance haphazard. Ramos unable to bypass Ramos. Gomez came for it, spins out. 2 added minutes. And the Dominican captain is really suffering. If the Dominican Republic have to make a change, you'd think they'd wait until after the half. That may give Gabriel Gomez a little more time, but one wonders with his current reaction whether time will be enough. The result of that challenge was instantaneous. Yeah. That's a horrifying reaction from the player. The reaction from the athletic training staff already led you to believe, no, he's going to need to come off and he's going to need help to do it. This is a devastating injury for the Dominican Republic. So the warm-up commences earlier than anticipated, surely. Renzo Reyes, make that Mehmet Durgan is up. So too Alan Sierra. So 2 options for Edward Acevedo. You desperately hope that Gabriel Gomez doesn't have a substantial injury here. The reaction was instantaneous. And the look from the athletic training staff leads you to believe his night is done. Panama attacking against 10, perhaps for the end of the half. That was about a 3-minute stoppage. So we should get close to 4.5, 5 minutes of added time in the first half, all considered. Under threat from Uresti. Rios fouled. Uresti will carry the captain's armband after Gomez came off injured. What a delightful half on the whole this has been. Dominicans finding their land legs just after the opening goal from Prado in the 29th, equalizing from Lopez in the 43rd. Second phase of a set piece. Whistle's gone here against Panama. Ferreira. Only one man high, Luis Lopez. The Dominicans. We're approaching 5 minutes. Yep, that is it. That is halftime. So we are exactly where we started. Prado, the go-ahead for Panama, a win or a draw puts them into the Under-17 World Cup. But Alejandro Lopez, the Dominican equalizer, they must win to go through. And it is all still to play for in Panama City. Halftime at the Estadio Rommel Fernández and a glorious Group G nightcap. Halftime, Panama 1, Dominican Republic 1. Changes are coming as we approach the second half at Estadio Rommel Fernández in Panama. The Dominican Republic seeing their captain Gabriel Gomez go down at the very final minutes of the first half. Gomez is in fact coming off. Ismael Saidani coming in. And on to the second half we go, and I believe they may have missed getting the second substitute on. Hugo Gonzalez was waiting by the fourth official to come into the game. And they're still standing there with the board. So there was an error here. Ball goes out at 45-20. Now they're going to stop the game. They're saying you're either ready or you're not. He says he's good to go. Well, this is interesting. They are going to allow the change. The only question, and one that truthfully can't be answered, and it's for Gomez, no less. So no one had to come off. Really interesting moment there. Ramos came off as well. Does that count as an additional substitution window? There's only 3 subs left and 2 windows for the Dominican Republic, but weird circumstance. So those are the 2 changes. Saidani and Gonzalez on for Ramos and Gomez. Ball ahead for Luis Lopez, runs too far. This is the Concacaf Men's Under-17 Qualifiers from Panama City. This, the title game in Group G. Panama advanced to the upcoming Under-17 World Cup by way of win or draw. The Dominican Republic goes through with a win. Only the group winners are going through to the World Cup. There is no additional route for those who finish runner-up in their group. So it truly is win or go home. Played long here for the Dominicans, Luis Lopez, but he is offside. Panama 7 corners in the first half to the Dominican Republic's 2. No saves for Ademir Aparicio, 4 for Geraldo of the Dominican Republic. And that's merely the second offside of this game. They both belong to the Dominican Republic. Chopped away from Joseph Lopez, who was all kinds of dangerous in that first half. Hugo Gonzalez looks on from the Barca Academy. Joseph Lopez. Lopez all the way. Finally met, and out to Vasquez. Counter is on for the Dominican Republic. And Uresti brought down. Uresti carrying the captain's armband after Gabriel Gomez went down due to injury in first half stoppage time. The earlier game tonight was never really all that important a contest as qualification was concerned. Aruba, the late 90+3 winner over Grenada. All through from Lopez. Caught by Aparicio. The tap from Uresti at the end was the first win for Aruba in this event in 6 games. Grenada scoring their first ever goal in this event. In this, their first ever appearance. Both, however, eliminated, finishing in the bottom 2 of Group G here in Panama. trying to muscle it free. Olivaria commits the foul. Pacheco argues the point. But it is a free kick for the Dominicans. Mel Sedani did score the only goal in the 1-0 win over Aruba, which in hindsight, simply vital. And that was a dream too big for Luis Lopez. Altamirano assisted the Panamanian goal. Looking for Prado once more. Joseph Lopez closing it down. This had already gotten over the line by the time it was played by Alejandro Lopez. 8th corner for Panama in this game. Some 6 minutes into the second half. Not the biggest crowd, but it has been consistently boisterous here in Panama. Lopez hangs this up, snagged by Geraldo. And that is impeding the restart. Merely a talking to for Altamirano. Yeah, he turns around and jumps in that direction. Geraldo. The Dominican Republic practically didn't touch the ball in the first 30 minutes in a meaningful way. They've been much better since. Lopez appealing for a corner, won't get it. Anthony Ramos does the job. 5th appearance in this event for the Dominican Republic. They got grouped in 94 and 96. They did make the knockout in the previous iteration of this event in the last 2 editions. But even still, they've never qualified for the Under-17 World Cup. They've only ever reached the Under-20 World Cup for one time. Most recent edition, 23. Lopez got the end line and smashes it at Aparicio. Conversely, Panama's the 11th edition. 3 times they've qualified for the Under-17 World Cup. 2011, 2013, 2023. They make it again, perhaps. The highest aspiration this group could be getting back to the World Cup, the senior level. This is a free kick. There was no advantage played. Though Altamirano saw that skew straight to him. Free kick, Panama. And Joseph Lopez, who is the human embodiment of a spark plug, caught from behind. Because Panama holds the goal difference tiebreaker, in the group, the goal here make it a very difficult mountain to climb for the Dominican Republic. The Dominicans have to win this game. The draw does them no good. Lopez went down again. Could this be the end of the line tonight? for one of the most entertaining prospects we've seen in this event. It's a very delayed entrance to the field for the athletic training staff. They tried to help Lopez up. He shook off his teammate. He had gotten up briefly, went back down. For Panama, I don't know whether taking time at this juncture is really your best outcome. They're going to have to carry Joseph Lopez off the field. Nearly committed the cardinal sin. When you're being lifted up, just lay there. Make no sudden movements. Hopefully nothing major for Lopez. And they're going to make the change immediately. Joseph Lopez off. Esteves Lopez on. Free kick coming. It could be Altamirano. Instead, this curled up above the bar, and Esteves Lopez came right off the bench and immediately took the free kick. Well, that's one way to introduce yourself to the game. Alejandro Lopez, the equalizer for the Dominican Republic. That allows them to dream. They must win this game. Prado, the opening goal. Clever back heel finish in front of goal in the 29th minute. Assisted by Altamirano. Panama would go through with a draw or the victory. Only the group winners are headed to the World Cup. These two, the highest seeded teams in Group G, the four-team group, included Grenada and Aruba, battling it out on the last day. This off the referee. Yeah, he's going to have to bring it back. He'll drop this. Geraldo, 4 saves. A handful, you'd say, really top shelf from the young goalkeeper. Thought Lopez down the left side. Instead, yellow card. They'll bring it back. Olivardia on the game's first yellow card. Pardo, back heel, Altamirano, back across the face. Soars away. defensive intervention that Vasquez couldn't hold. And make it the second yellow card. We never saw it on the screen, but indeed there was a card given for the goal celebration from Prado. And he earned it. He really did. Off the head of Gonzalez. Retti couldn't feed the width. Lopez beneath it. Touch got away. Stewart up through Altamirano. Now Lopez driving. Clip from behind, play on, and out comes Geraldo to claim. An hour complete tonight in Panama City, and still, truthfully, nothing decided in Group G. Way down to Aparicio. Left something to be desired. Lopez collects for the Dominican Republic. All the way through. Saidani touched it last. Goal kick. That was a gaping chance for the Dominican Republic. Checo brings the crowd to their feet. Crazy as it sounds, if the Dominicans score, you'd almost feel like it's too soon. Geraldo out over the line on the slide. This high-powered Panamanian team then neutralized in part because the Dominican Republic found their way with the ball. Altamirano, now Prado. Prado driving, sent away by Marte. Don't want to see the Dominican Republic to fall back in a shell. Panama has shown ability to break that apart. Esteves Lopez came on for the injured Joseph Lopez earlier in the half. Takes the corner. Lopez. Second bite of the apple. Lopez playing Stewart. Crowd incensed. They've brought this back. Not lose track of the fact this is also an enormous game. There's Stewart blazing through, ultimately deemed to have committed the foul. But an enormous game for the officials as well. You don't get to work World Cups without working events like this first. So Norberto da Silva of Curaçao, the honor of holding the whistle in this essentially one-off World Cup qualifier. Altamirano. Good build up through midfield. Then outside, Alavardia on the other end. Flips back, options percolating, ball lofted. Taking Altamirano, leaking in off the edge. Lopez. Lopez rounds the corner, got by Abreu. Lopez, ball blasted wide. Alex Oresti, a clear shot at frame. Lopez did so much hard work. Leave Aranda behind. Lopez, acres of space. Altamirano, off the right. Back to Lopez. Lopez went down. Goal kick. Goal kick. And a yellow for simulation to Lopez. So many people watching this are thinking in the terms of just go back and look at it again. There is no VAR, and officials have to stamp this out. He did not get his foot. Lopez was never going to get to that ball, so Estevez Lopez dives in front of goal, seeking a penalty, instead a booking. Good hold-up play, the turn from Marte. Numbers are good here for the Dominicans. Resti, the target. Way by Pacheco. And the Panamanian player has gone down. It's Jerson Gordon. Only player from Boca's FC in this team. Doesn't turn 17 until May. Two goals for Gordon in this Concacaf Under-17 event. Scored against Aruba and Grenada. Double sub coming. Hector Guerra, Abraham Salinas. Gordon went down, and his day concludes. And Adrian Olivardia, who's on a yellow, trots off for Panama as well. 3 subs utilized now by Panama. Aparicio. Flustered, but coming away with the ball. That's a yellow. By Donnie. Looks for the Dominican Republic. Pulling Pacheco back. Even what was out front for Panama, that's probably a worthwhile tactical foul. Karam's into the Dominican back line, launching over the top. Resti couldn't corral. Aranda forward. Brought in by Lopez. Shifty footwork, Lopez. Altamirano. Altamirano went for goal! Oh, what a save, Geraldo! Got just enough, and he dives on the grenade. Abraham Altamirano could not have asked for a better lead up to that final effort. 20 minutes gone, and nearly the dagger from Panama. Win or draw Panama to the World Cup. The win for the Dominicans, they sent Panama home. They would go to Qatar in November. The next goal simply magnified 100 times over by those lofty ambitions. Here's the chance for Altamirano. It dropped right to him. Guerra wasn't necessarily trying to set that pick, but he did. And what a gorgeous effort through traffic that would have been off the outside of his boot. Looks like the keeper may have gotten cut a bit. Tenth corner for Panama. Brought Lopez in off the bench, and he has instantly become their first choice set piece taker. Lopez aiming for Pacheco. Stewart, end line service. Lopez had wanted a goal kick. Now he's got it. It's really thin, the Dominican Republic. They brought in Saidani already. You've got Luis Pereira off the bench. It's your last listed forward. You have 3 additional defenders. And Patterson Medina in midfield after already utilizing Hugo Gonzalez. So the likes of Aresti and Luis Lopez, if they don't go the distance, they're going to have to give as much as they can. Searching ball forward, hung in the air. Speared away by the keeper, Aparicio. Altamirano. Guerra. Lopez works off the left. Good intervention from Elian Ferreira. Pacheco. Checo couldn't cycle back into play. At some point, Panama's going to try and put the vice grip on this game. Still searching for a goal, when a draw would do them the same amount of good. Rolls all the way, Ademir Aparicio. promise of a World Cup in the offing. Panama on home ground, this same venue in which the men's national team earned their bid to Russia in 2018. It's all right there for them. This ball bouncing toward Gonzalez. They'll bring it back. And a foul from Brias, who's gone into the book. Ian Prado on yellows, as well as Lopez, who came off the bench. Saidani, the only Dominican player on caution. They talk about it in these international events, how set pieces are magnified. The reality for the Dominican Republic is their best chance, the goal, came on the second phase of a set piece. Could Saidani have that magic moment? Saidani directly into the wall. Gonzalez! That would have been a goal simply out of this world. Fernández. Lopez wasn't making the run. He has to conserve now. Aparicio, well versed in the tactics, the dark arts. Lopez. This looks familiar. Holding off Stewart. Stewart puts it over the line. Needs a corner. First of the half, third of the game for the Dominican Republic. Lopez practically stiff-armed Stewart to an opportunity for Panama. Maybe 15 minutes ago. Saidani off their service, rising header, comes straight back. Saidani was onside. Plays at the top of the 18. That caroms back out. Saidani lost it to the touchline. Ops toward Prado. Pushed into the ground by Abreu. Play continues through Altamirano. Touched away by Geraldo at the post. Geraldo went down instantaneously with a shouting grimace. Altamirano has been excellent tonight. The 11 corners, 4 in the half for Panama. Goal gives them major insurance. Lopez. And you can be assured it won't come from service like that. When does Panama try and shut this down? "11 minutes to play. The game in which a draw gets you to the World Cup." It's been a wide open second half. Fernández. And Lopez has come up awkwardly. trying to walk this off. The header from Stewart went out of play. Gonzalez, held by Fernández, back to Vasquez. Ripped away by Altamirano, but Vasquez won it back and got knocked down by Altamirano. It's so difficult to project young players' futures, but goodness, it's hard not to see Altamirano eventually getting where he wants to be in the Panamanian national team. He's got some unbelievable skill. It's been a real joy to watch tonight. Killian Ferreira for the Dominican Republic. These chances are fleeting from here. You have to give yourself a real chance. Instead, it'll be Sedani, who's handled set pieces for the Dominican Republic since he entered the game. Sedani offers. Header back in front. Gonzalez got his head to it. Hugo Gonzalez looking for that moment. Aparicio totally caught between two minds. Free kick, foul from Jose Abreu. Probably not going to get let off with another warning after this. Not among the players on caution. Prado continues to take a beating. Good pattern out of pressure. Skipped up from Fernández. Header came from Aranda. Drops down to Gonzalez. Couldn't control. Altamirano. Dangerous as ever. Slipped ahead. It's Guerra. Panama, Peru, the wasted chances. It's late enough, the chances so few. Racing through Sedani. Sedani trying to get toward the end line and crafts this back. As support coming over to Lopez. Lopez crossing to the backside and directly into Aparicio. Oh, the rescue was there. It was there for the Dominican Republic. And Sedani knows it too. He squared it directly back to the goalkeeper. The net was empty. Sedani got himself back on side. Everybody was on side. Nobody made contact. Oh. The World Cup feels like this large, abstract monolith until you realize that you're just inches away from it in these tantalizingly few life moments. And that was one of those moments for the Dominican Republic. Time to push the chips to the middle of the table. There's just not that much time remaining. Pedro Vasquez off. Placed by Luis Pereira. About a minute has elapsed. It'll be a drop ball, and Aparicio will pick it up. Alejandro Lopez, the equalizer. Second phase of a set piece. Prado, the opening goal. Back heel on the service from Altamirano. 1-1. Briefly kept in, but lost by Fernández. Panama are as few as 5 minutes away, booking their ticket to Qatar. One of the 8 teams from Concacaf to go to this Under-17 World Cup be decided right here. Stewart. Prado. Aranda. Karam's wide, service back in, settled, Lopez! Lopez the dagger! Panama! Only to the World Cup! Moment for Panama. A draw would have been fine. It would have been enough. But in this venue, one of such glorious Panamanian moments it had to be. Esteves Lopez, the go-ahead, the insurance, and have they punched their ticket to the World Cup. Wow, what a moment. It would be simply Herculean for the Dominican Republic to come back now. 1 goal is not enough, they need 2. Lopez came off the bench in the second half, and you elate this crowd, the Estadio Rommel Fernández. It needs to be nearly perfect now for the Dominican Republic. Ripped away by Pacheco. Those are your standings. Aruba, the win over Grenada earlier tonight, they had already been eliminated. Panama, with better goal difference, now ahead on points. But even if this game were to finish level, they'd be ahead on goal difference. Ball through. Aimed across toward Lopez. Never got to Luis Lopez. Whisked away. The equalizer in the first half came just 14 minutes later, but there was a massive fluctuation that came. Herrera turned away Aparicio. What a time for your first save tonight. Fourth corner for the Dominican Republic. There's going to be a lot of stoppage time. If you get one, there's still a chance. Sedani. Header looping away and out. They know it. Dominicans have given all they can to this game. They're on the short end. The fans here, the Estadio Rommel Fernández, it's celebratory chanting. An acknowledgement. This could mean back-to-back World Cups at the Under-17 level. There's players from the teams that went back-to-back in 11 and 13 proved the backbone for trip to the 2018 World Cup. Wow. Pacheco flipped off the ball. Lopez all the way through Geraldo. Header down. This is open here for the Dominican Republic. Ball ahead. Sliding. Rommel. Uresti recovers. Uresti, high arcing service over Luis Lopez. Into stoppage time now. How much time is there left, really? Lopez lost it. Prado. Penalty. And that could be that. Prado wins the spot kick and a chance to effectively end this game. He had lost the ball. He was never going to be able to do anything more. Does it feel soft? Maybe. The battle had already been won. Abraham Altamirano, what an awe-inspiring performance this young man has put forward. The prize of Plaza Amador, 8 added minutes. That is an eternity, but he'll get real late, real early if this penalty goes from Altamirano. Adversaries tonight, these two. Rayu gets a word in, having conceded the penalty. The Dominicans slow to start, but awe-inspiring the end of the first half. Finding the equalizing goal, giving themselves a real chance. They've established themselves now, at least at the youth level, as a real threat in Concacaf. But this is Panama, this Concacaf giant. Its golden years over the past decade and a half come from events like this. Altamirano can effectively end it. Altamirano says, Rommel. And the Dominican Republic are alive, even if faint. Wilkins Geraldo made 4 or 5 incredible saves tonight. Had that red all the way from Abraham Altamirano. It is a corner. There was an injury after the penalty was given. This could get to 10 minutes. This has all the makings of a real Concacaf nail-biter. Corner that got tapped by Lopez and picked up by Geraldo. We're nearing the point that it's going to have to be absolutely perfect. Launch. Out of play. Geraldo, another goal kick. They need 2 goals. Panama are a win or a draw are headed to the World Cup. Here's Lopez, who scored that vital insurance goal just before the commencement of stoppage time. Lost his footing. That leads to a free kick to the Dominican Republic. Maybe there's 5 minutes left. Crazier things have happened, but not many crazier things. Fernández. Lopez. Throw to the Dominicans. Panama minutes away from their 4th Under-17 World Cup berth. All brought down. Shot back. It belongs to Panama. They'll take it as far as they can go. Prado continues. Prado won it back from Gonzalez again. The Dominican Republic whiskers away. They had an incredible chance in front of goal right before they conceded the second. If you score that goal, you batten down the hatches and you go to Qatar. Instead, they are on the verge of leaving empty-handed. Lopez. That's a risque cross-field service that's scooped up here by Geraldo. You desperately hope that you get a game of this magnitude to live up to the hype, and it has. Lopez. And flying embers, Panama watching more time go through the hourglass. They know they are on the cusp. Substitution. Lamar Instarain coming in. Tauro. Checo will hobble off. Glorious applause surely for Pacheco's effort. Instarain will also get a smattering of applause himself. Now or never. Lobbed into the area. Out to halfway. Lopez flips it through. This could be the exclamation point for Panama. Geraldo, not enough. Quells the celebration for just a moment longer. Bria sends it away. We've gone 8 minutes. Multiple stoppages in stoppage time. Referee not ready yet. Fernández. Dominicans don't need one, they need two. Panama could slam the door right here. Down into the corner, Prado. Free kick, Panama. Surely they've done it now. It's just a matter of record keeping and time. They were favored in this group. They hosted this group. And they are about to emerge from a real dogfight with the Dominican Republic to reach their 4th Under-17 World Cup. There's the glance at the watch. 100 seconds over the allotted stoppage. Lopez has to get it to goal. Panama is going to the World Cup. The winner of Group D, Panama, headed to Qatar in November, a 2-1 win in the must-have match against the Dominican Republic. Dominican devastation. They took Panama to the brink. They had their chances in the game's final minutes, potentially win it and punch their own ticket. Instead, they go home. And another generation of Panamanian talent will take to the global stage. Panama going to their 4th Under-17 World Cup. And they're going back to the tournament for a second successive event. A remarkable game tonight at the Estadio Rommel Fernández in Panama City. The opening goal from Estadio at 29, Lopez equalizer at the 43rd, and Estevez Lopez in the 87th has sent Panama packing for Qatar. The final score in Panama City, Panama 2, Dominican Republic 1. Panama, winners of Group D, qualified for the Under-17 World Cup. Panama has qualified for the World Cup. What an incredible moment. These young players. It was a desperate Dominican side, one that gave them all they could handle. But Panama, the host of Group G, have qualified the World Cup in Qatar in November of 2025. Qualifying for the second successive tournament and for the fourth time in their history. 3 wins from 3, none harder than the last. That flag will fly high in Qatar. The trophy presented to the Group G champion. Panama has earned their place in the 2025 FIFA Under-17 World Cup. The first of 8 slots allocated to Concacaf belongs to Panama. Concacaf history seeps through the concrete. The Estadio Rommel Fernández, and another chapter has been written here tonight. Group winners, a perfect record. And enjoying the jubilant celebration of the assembled in Panama City. Panama to the 2025 FIFA Under-17 World Cup. Inside Estadio Rommel Fernández in Panama City, only one ticket for 2 teams that entered a top Group G for the upcoming FIFA Under-17 World Cup. Panama hosting the Dominican Republic, winner or draw Panamanians, and they are headed to Qatar. A win for the Dominican Republic. For the first time, they would qualify for the event in November. Panama creating throughout the first 30 minutes. Important saves from Wilkins, Geraldo to keep Panama at bay for the time being. But it was short-lived glory for Geraldo in the Dominican Republic. Simply too much in front of goal. Abraham Altamirano denied. Although he would be an important figurehead in the eventual go-ahead goal. Denied by this scoring effort from Geraldo. Still 0-0, approaching half an hour. But Altamirano comes off the right side, finds Prado, sweeps home the opening goal. A wonderful back-heeled effort, and Prado scores his 4th of the qualifiers. Give Panama a 1-0 lead. Knowing a draw would be enough, it's essentially insurance, and thank goodness they got it. Ferreira denied here by a diving Ademir Aparicio. But on the second phase of a corner, Lopez playing in to a streaking Alejandro Lopez. Redirects the equalizing goal for the Dominican Republic. And going into halftime, it was 1-1. Panama knows this result still would be good enough. The Dominican Republic poured on pressure in moments. Lopez leaving off. And off the mark from Alex Uresti. Then Altamirano denied by Geraldo. Could taking the sting out of the game. Instead, Geraldo keeps the Dominican Republic alive that much longer. Altamirano driving once more, this time a shot to the near post. It was touched aside by Geraldo. Still 1-1. The Dominican Republic would have their chances the final 20 minutes of this game. Wayward header from the substitute Hugo Gonzalez. Then Lopez ends it. In the 87th minute, just minutes after a service careened directly in front of and behind of a Dominican pair in front of goal, would have given the Dominicans the lead. Lopez stabs them right in the heart. The second goal, you needed insurance. There'd be a penalty late, one saved by Geraldo, denying Altamirano, but it wouldn't be enough. 2-1, Panama qualify for the World Cup. And the first of 8 groups have concluded in the Concacaf Under-17 qualifiers. Panama have won Group G, 3 wins from 3. The Dominican Republic ultimately fall 2 goals short of World Cup qualification. Panama are headed to Qatar for the World Cup in November. For our entire team in Panama City and beyond, Mike Watts saying thanks for being a part of Concacaf Under-17 qualifiers. It is Panama 2, Dominican Republic 1. Panama win Group G and qualify for the 2025 FIFA Under-17 World Cup. So long for now. Good night.